am I talking about? What am I talking about? Very simple word, saying, right? Briew, Tip-Blei. Huh? I think many people forget about the Briew, Tip-Blei saying, right? Because it's a very deep saying actually, when you think about it. For example, Briew means no man. Tip-Blei means no God. And it's actually very beautiful, right? Like if you know man, you know God also, right? It's not like that. Many people generally forget about the man part and they only talk about the Blei part, right? And they say that, you know, Khasis are people who Tip-Blei, no man, no God. But to be very honest, I don't really see that anymore in our society. We become very, very zealous, yes, evangelical. Many people will go to church on Sundays and then they'll scream and shout and cry and yell and they'll fall down on the ground and they'll say they got the Holy Spirit, blah, blah, blah. But the man part, the looking after your own fellow man, right? That is not so important, because that is actually here. It's like here on earth, right? Blei is up in heaven, God is in heaven. But when it comes to doing things for people here on earth, nobody really gives a shit. I've seen that. I've seen that in our society. I can see it in how we think about the world. I can see it in how people deal with each other. We spend like crores on making our churches and our congregation spaces so nice and beautiful and so ornate. But when was the last time any of these churches opened a soup kitchen, a night shelter? When did they take care of the poor? When have they ever extended money to the poor? No. They only expect that the poor should just keep giving them money. But bro, that time is going to come to an end, trust me. Because it's happened abroad, it's happened in Europe, it's happening in America, it's happening in other places. There's a reason. Because if you don't think about people and you don't look after people with whatever resources you have, you're going to lose them. Why should they care about you when you don't care about them? Right? The churches have so much power. They could do so much more, but they don't. And it's really sad. I think it's really, really sad. People are struggling nowadays. They need help. They need soup kitchens. They need, as I said, night shelters. Nobody cares about those things. I've had discussions with members of clergy about these things, but nobody cares. Because people, you know, people suck. People are, you know, not as important as something that is in the afterlife that can come later, right? But if you're saying that, hey, you need to take care of poor people, you need to help them, you know, in many ways. Maybe you could start again a credit union. You could start working together. You could start building community incomes and so on. No, nobody really cares about that. They do it, but it's almost like that is not the most important thing. That is just done as a side, you know. And because if they really wanted to do those things, they would do it well. You know, they would put the same amount of dedication as to making a fancy church, right? Like they would think, like, for example, I'll give you an example, like orphans, right? There's so many orphans, right? Or people who are put into the orphanage system. Why is that? Because they're poor. Their parents can't afford to look after them. So what do? They give these children over to the church. Now the church gets funding through the government till the age of 16, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they've changed that, but earlier it used to be till the age of 16. Once those kids hit 16, a 16-year-old child who is an orphan, who has been in the orphanage system, has to immediately think like an adult. I have to make money, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to start thinking about my career. Like at 16, it's cruel. These people have no support system at all, and they're expected to be adults. And you know, as I said, if the churches thought about this thing very carefully, they would think about how to look after these children till the time they are totally, completely on their own 2 feet, and give them quality education, quality assistance, right? Not just, oh, we're getting some peanuts from the government till the age of 16. You can stay with us, but after that, goodbye. That is what I'm saying here. Like, that is what I've seen so many times. It hurts me when I see this, right? And I'm like thinking like, I can't be the only one who notices these things, and again, night shelters. There's so many people who are going to be rough sleeping. There's so many people who are out there who are going to be in the cold in this winter. But does the church open up any space where they can accommodate these poor people, where they can come and sleep over the? You don't need to make it a permanent thing, but you can give them a space to sleep at night, so that, or and maybe a bathroom, a clean bathroom, where they can wash up, they can do their business. No, that's not. No, it's not nice. I don't like to have to clean up after these people. So that's what I'm saying. Soup kitchens, do you provide food? The Sikhs, God bless them, the Sikhs still have langar every day, right? Like whenever, like they come together as a community and they do it. They actually feed poor people. That's wonderful. I think that's a wonderful thing. And beyond that also, of course, they have to do more things. They have to start thinking about how to intervene in a very good way, a positive way. But I don't see it from our guys. I mean, like, why do you keep talking about Tip-Blei then, if you don't really care? I just don't know, man. I feel like everybody's just becoming more selfish every day. Everybody's becoming worse and worse and worse, and all that they respect is greed. Everybody just keeps wanting more. Some guy who makes like 7 lakhs per month still wants more. Like, squeezes out every single square inch of property, for rent. Oh God. I mean, but that's modern day Meghalaya, right?